Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ass Hat Podcast on YouTube. I almost said Cartoonist Kayfabe. I watch the fuck out. I mean, I'm gonna throw that out there. There's a bunch of comic channels I watch. The two that I watch every video they put up, Cartoonist Kayfabe, you know, Piss Gordon, Jim Rugg, two comic creators. Great channel. I just watched their one they put up the day I'm filming it. I'll tell you how long before this goes up. It was on Slasher Comics. And I'm like, oh, I had that one, I had that one, I had that one. Oh, I didn't have that. I had this, I had that. Then there's no one. Look for Jerk Comics. This guy, I don't know how long he's been on YouTube. I just discovered a few months ago. He's a guy around my age. He's in his 40s. Huge comic fan and does some amazing videos. He did some great stuff on the Max and Sam Key. He did a really good one recently on Mark Grunwald, the Squadron Supreme miniseries, and how his ashes got put into the book. Guy just does some amazing stuff and a great guy to bullshit with. I put one little comment on one of his videos like 2 weeks ago, that Squadron Supreme one, and him and I sat there in the comment section and talked for like an hour and a half. We were talking about Rick Veitch, and I said something about the Maxi Mortal Brat Pack 2, the 2-issue mini. He's like, okay, you know your stuff there, because probably nobody even knows about that. I'm like, oh, go check my channel. I got videos of them. Yeah. But this is from Calibur, issue 1. It's not in the best shape. $3 for this. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, The Comet, based on the original screenplay by Rich O'Brien. A Lou Adler, Michael White production. So let's check this. I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is one of those. I'm at a weird age for it. It was not airing anywhere near me in a theater until I was about 19. Maybe 18, but probably 19. Like they'd show it like around Halloween when I was a young teen, but I had nobody I could ride with. Like nobody knew was old enough going that had a car. And it wasn't until I was about 14-ish. A friend of mine's older sister, I'm over there, it's Halloween night, we're hanging out. She's like, hey, we're going to go see Rocky Horror Picture Show. You want to come with us? Well, yeah, do you know how to drive? Well, yeah, I don't have a license, but I know how to drive. Okay, cool. Should have known when she asked that what they needed a sober driver, a designated driver, and old me got picked as designated driver, so I rode with my buddy's sister, and I didn't know at the time that was her girlfriend that came with us. I was a friend of hers. Good friend of mine, too. I'm not going to say any names here. And a few other people. And they're drinking the whole way over there, and I'm like, yeah, cool, not a problem. I'm driving. We get over there, and I got to see Rocky in the theater, and they were shit-faced, and I drove them home. You know, dropped her girlfriend and a couple of her friends off, and then my friend took her to her house, and I had to walk like 2 blocks to mine. She lived about, not even 2 blocks, probably about a block from my house. That's the first time I saw Rocky in the theater. I had seen it before then. It had been released on VHS. I'd rented it, and it's one of those, once you've seen it in a theater, go sit on the VHS or DVD and watch it, but first time you really need to see a movie in a theater. Really do. It makes a difference. When I came in my late teens, like 19 through about 22, well, actually a little bit longer than that because it was still playing when I left, the Silver Screen Theater in Biloxi, ain't there anymore sadly, was airing it. Every Friday and Saturday. It was like $3 to $5 to get out. It was $3 to watch Rocky, or you could pay $5, you got a double feature. Sometimes you knew what the second feature was, sometimes you didn't. It's whatever the theater owner could get a hold of. A perfect example, I'll give you a perfect example here. One night we go over there, and she's like, man, the film that I was supposed to show after, she's supposed to be getting heavy metal. And I'm like, oh man, heavy metal. Because I didn't get it in, so I have to show something else. Like, I don't know what would fit after Rocky Back. I got this little black and white film, nobody's coming to see it, but it's called Clerks. And I've been reading about Clerks in Film Thread, and this is probably about 6 weeks after Clerks. Silver Screen was a second run theater. Like, you know, stuff plays in the main theaters for about a month, then it pop up on Silver Screen for $1. I'm like, oh, you got to show Clerks. So I got to see Clerks in a theater. I'm one of the lucky few. And I saw Mallrats. I drove, oh God, we went to either Pensacola or New Orleans. So we drove a couple of hours, like at least an hour and a half to go see Mallrats in the theater. I saw Chasing Amy in the theater. I saw Dog, and I saw Silent Bob Strikes Back, and then in Clerks 2. And then since then hadn't. But Rocky Horror, back to Rocky Horror, I'm rambling. Kevin Van Hook's the writer-artist, colored by Carol Van Hook, lettered by Ken Brusniak, edited by Gary. I think Gary Reed is the owner. This is a second printing, too. And look, Michael Rennie was ill the day the earth stood still, but he told us where we stand on our feet. I ain't gonna go through the whole thing, but yeah, and my singing's horrible. Trust me, I know. It's got this weird kind of painted look to it. There's if you don't know Rocky Horror, it's Susan Sarandon is Janet. And oh my God, what is his name? Shit. Lead guy in Megaforce, and he was the mayor on Spin City, is Brad. The great Tim Curry is Frankenfurter. And then the rest of the cast, Meatloaf's in it. Probably the best thing. Meatloaf to me is a better actor than he is a singer. Because I'm going to throw this out there. Am I the only one that bought Bat Out of Hell? Because I'm looking at the album cover going, man, this looks metal as fuck. This is going to be fucking amount. I'm putting this on, it's going to brutalize me. And I bought it and got home and put it in the CD player. Yeah, I didn't have it on vinyl. I'm not, oh God, no. Didn't have it on record. Fuck that term vinyl. Record. Didn't have it on record, you know. Put the CD in, I put it on like, oh, this is like slightly rockier version of the shit my mom listens to. Ooh. It's kind of like Molly Hatchet. Metal as fuck album covers, and then it's like Southern rock, you know, flirting with disaster and shit. So this is just basically, look, they got all the songs that Barry Boswick. You can tell that's Barry Boswick, that's Susan Sarandon. And they, you know, they go to a wedding, their friends there get married, and Brad proposes to Janet. There's the narrator. And when you go to the theater, you have people acting this out in front of the screen. And at various times, I was pulled in to take parts, because I knew the whole movie. Like, I was the narrator a couple of times. I played Meatloaf's part, Eddie, once or twice, because the guy couldn't show him, like, hey, the outfit fits you, throw it on. You know, I was, you know, and then I was getting ready to become a permanent part of the cast. And the person that ran it and I had issues. We'll just leave it at that. And I basically told her to go chew a bag of assholes. And I wasn't allowed to be part of the cast anymore. That's cool, though. I like this. And there's Richard O'Brien is Riff Raff. Oh my God. Okay. He's doing the Time Warp. That's what most people remember. Let's do the Time Warp, the dance. Here's the thing. The dance on the screen and the dance they're telling you to do are different. So you go to the theater, you'll see some people doing what's on the screen, some people doing what they're telling you to do. There's Patricia Quinn is Magenta. And one thing about Rocky, and I'll bring my aunt. I mention every once on these videos my crazy aunt who's now passed. And I had one person, oh, don't call her crazy. She referred to herself that way. Her and I both suffered from various mental illnesses. She had depression and all this stuff. And that's how she goes, I'm your crazy aunt. Okay, that works. She referred to herself that way, so hey, get off my case about it. She'd heard about Rocky. She'd got a book about it, heard all about it. She wanted to go, but she didn't want to go by herself. So I called her, I was like, hey, aunt, me and a bunch of friends are going tonight, you know, come see it. Show up there, you know, come on in, come see it with us. You know, I'll make sure nobody really messes with you. Well, you've never seen Rocky in a theater before. They call you a virgin. They have the de-virginization process where they had 4 stations. It started up on the right-hand side, the left-hand side of the screen. You had to do something stupid there. Walk to the next station, do something stupid. Walk to the next station, do something stupid. Walk to the 4th one, do something stupid. Just kind of, you know, hey, look, if you ain't got a sense of humor about yourself, this is the wrong movie to come see. And like the first station, you had to like yell something stupid. Well, the last station, my buddy Butch he played Riff Raff for years. He was usually the one there, and he had a pair of the Rocky lips, and he put them on different parts of the body, like put it on his chest, you had to kiss the lips. Well, he got to where his thing was he put it right over his crotch, like kiss the lips. Well, I told him my aunt is here. I will let you know when she's up there. Don't put it on your crotch. So he got up there, he's like, you know what? He put it on his like cheek of his face, had her kiss it. And she had a blast. And she should have come more often, but there was issues there. She enjoyed it, though. And the best thing about Rocky Horror, the marquee just said, Rocky. So one night, we're out there standing in line waiting to get let in. And I was with some of the cast. They were in costumes. I'm in, you know, jeans and a t-shirt, you know, my normal gear. As I've been told before, I dressed like a roadie for an Alice in Chains Cypress Hill tour in 1994. Hey. I wear what I'm comfortable in. I'm comfortable in jeans or some kind of shorts and a t-shirt. And if it's cold but not super cold, I throw a flannel on to keep my arms warm, you know, put a hat on. We're out there, and there's these 3 women, probably in their 20s, kind of professional looking. I'm saying you can tell they probably just got off work. You know, they got business casual on, and they're like, oh, y'all here to see Rocky? Yeah, I love Rocky. Rocky's on, and they're like, oh, we love Rocky too. We never got to see it in the theater. I'm like, oh, cool. I was like, well, y'all gonna have some fun tonight. I go, just keep an open mind, you know. It gets a little crazy, but nothing majorly bad. They got in there, and I don't know how in the world they got to skip the de-virginization process. But when the movie started, I heard one go, where's Sylvester Stallone? They thought they were going to see Rocky the boxing movie. And I'll show you, that's why I started this. Okay, so, this after the dance. Do you guys know how to Madison? Brad's an asshole, of course. This thing right here, we got this little panel right here with the elevator. Sorry. Let me get us up a drink. When the elevator opened up and Jim Curry threw back that robe and they saw him in the lingerie, they freaked the hell out. Like, oh my God! I turned, I was like, I warned y'all. Because they were sitting right behind me and they got into it, and they came back 2 more times. And by remember, they came the second time, they came to me like, hey, we got the soundtrack, so we know the songs. Like, oh, cool, sing along, join in, have fun. And they came back 2 more times and had a blast, and then I quit going. It just got to where I was like, man, you know what? Because of issues with the person running the cast, I did not like going to it as much. But we always had a big after party at my buddy Butch's house after Rocky, Friday and Saturday nights. Big party. Started as soon as we could get back. Show ended at about midnight. So it's about a 20-30 minute trip. So about 12:30 party would start. And a lot of times that party was ending when the sun came up. Especially the Saturday night party. A lot of times it would be ending about 8 o'clock in the morning. We're stumbling out of the house, and Butch lived right next door to a big-ass church. So they're going into church, and we're stumbling out of his place. We used to jokingly say, hey, our religious service is rocky. It's ending as there's a start. But just, and this is the sweet transvestite. And they stripped Brad and Janet down their underwear. So if you've ever wanted to see Susan Sarandon, I don't think she's ever done any nudity. Be like, closely, she runs around in bra and panties throughout that. Gorgeous woman. Still, for her age, still a very nice-looking woman. Or if you want to see Barry Ballsworth in his boxers, them big old loose boxes. Tonight, my unconventional convention is you are to witness a new breakthrough in biochemical research. The whole plot is Frankenfurter is trying to create the perfect man. And that's what he did. He created Rocky. And that's where the first chapter is. This is a 3-issue miniseries. I don't have the other ones. These are expensive. I've never seen them in shops. So when I've got this, I'm like, oh my God, I got Rocky. And this is just profile. Really good artwork of Richard Brown there. He's the writer, creator, everything. And there is a sequel called Shock Treatment that is very divisive. Either you love it or you hate it. I personally find it great. It kind of like predicts reality TV, and the great Rick Miles in it. It's set after this, and Brad and Janet go to Dentonville, which is mentioned in the first film, and end up stuck in the studio audience. And there is another sequel that Richard O'Brien's written that's never been done, because Rocky started off as a stage play in the UK. I'm going to go into that. Rocky started off as a stage play. It's called the Rocky Horror Show. Stage play in the UK, like what would be considered like off-Broadway in the States. And it did okay. They brought it over to the United States, and it blew up. It was huge. So 20th Century Fox like, we're making a movie out of this. And they did. And the movie bombed. They didn't market it right. And what happened was this one theater, I want to say it's in New York City, but I'm not 100%, but it could have been LA, started showing it at midnight. It became a midnight movie like El Topo and Night of the Living Dead and Carnival of Souls and all these great midnight movies. It became a midnight movie. And it took off. And next thing you know, it started playing everywhere. I mean, it was playing in Biloxi, Mississippi for years and years and years. It does not play in Biloxi anymore. That theater is gone. Plus, before that theater was gone, they kind of got kicked out because they're letting people get a little too wild. When you have... How can I put this without breaking YouTube? Okay. There would be, people act a little wild and stuff in the theater, but nothing horrible. And Silver Screen is one of those theaters where they serve beer, and you could smoke out in the lobby. At one time you could smoke in the theater, but you couldn't by then. Well, cops had heard stuff was going on in there. They showed up, and this is what I've been told. I was already gone. Out in the lobby, somebody was smoking a joint. That's a big no-no. Then they go in the theater, and a female was performing oral sex on somebody sitting in the audience. Another big no-no. And it got canceled. They quit doing it. Well, the guy who owned the print owned a projector, and he started like renting a hotel room and showing it there, and shit got even worse. This guy, he's a piece of shit. I'm not going to even say his name. The world will be a better place when he's gone. But this is your prop list. Also, you need rice to throw at the wedding, newspaper to hold over your head when they're getting rained on, squirt gun to simulate the rain, flashlights, surgical gloves, party makers, confetti, toilet paper, toast, party hat, bell, and cards. Well, a lot of theaters don't allow a lot of this shit anymore because they hate cleaning it up, so they cut down. Like, they sold a Rocky Horror, I think they called it Survival Kit. So I'm sure it's like cards, the newspaper, the party hats. Audience participation guide. Okay, look. Now see? Lips. And he told us where we stand on our feet. Claude Rains was the Invisible Man. Who's Claude Rains? Some of these lines, okay. I saw that Leo G. Carroll was fucking a barrel when Tarantula took to the hills. Lick it. That some of the, and there's regional lines like there was a commercial that was fairly popular on the coast. It's like an auto dealership, I think a used car dealership, and the little kid was with his grandpa and they're showing off all the cars, and he'd be like, "That's a good." He'd go over and kick the tire of the car, and be like, "That's a good car, Paw." Became kind of like a local catchphrase. Well, there's a scene in the movie when Brad and Janet break down, have a flat tire. Brad kicks the tire. Well, half the audience knows that commercial. "That's a good car, Paw." You know, regional stuff. Just like the flag hanging above Frankenfurter's house. It looks kind of Nazi-ish. So during one airing of a buddy of mine just jumped and starts doing Sig High to it. I'm like, oh, come on, man. But is this the entire audience participation? No, it's not. It's only partial. We got shirts and... Oh, Sal Piro is the head of the Rocky Horror Fan Club. The poster, I'd love to have that pin. Lick it. This is people that are part of the cast. The Shadow Cast. They got the songs. It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll. But listen closely. Not for very much longer. I've got to. Now he says, I got to keep control. The entire audience says, I've got to smoke a bowl. I mean, a lot of stoner humor in here. And it was, what was so great about Rocky was, when we went to go see it, you had like, most of my friends were goths. There was not really a punk rock scene down on the coast. Not over in Jackson County back then, so... we had the goth kids, you had the Biloxi Queens, which was all the drag queens, they'd show up, and they had reserved seats in the middle. You had, like, the gay crowd would show up. You had a little merging of the tribes, and everybody got along. There was no issues. And if somebody came in and started shit, it got taken care of. Like, I remember one night, a bunch of rednecks showed up, and they tried to start some shit, and you have not had a better laugh until you've seen a big 6'5" jacked up redneck get the living hell beat out of him by a 6'5" drag queen in full regalia. I mean, heels, everything, to beat the hell out of that guy. Because what did he call her? Oh, I can't say that word on YouTube. I remember now. It begins with an F and ends with a T in slang in the UK for cigarette. And he put the word flaming in front of it. And I can't remember that drag queen's stage name. I know that person's real name, and I'm not going to say that. But, like, hey, step outside for a minute. And they stepped out in the lobby and walked out the back door, and I followed with a couple others. We watched the drag queen beat the shit out of that guy. And he let the drag queen let the redneck throw the first punch and just dodged it and took him down. That's Rocky Horror Picture. There's a Little Neil is Columbia. But you know what? That went long, but I had a blast talking about Rocky. I love it. It's in my top 10 films. It's one I haven't watched in quite a while. And I see that there's a nice Blu-ray out, so remember, if you enjoyed this video, give me the thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, share it, all that shit. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.